meeting. All right, we'll start with the land acknowledgement. The city of Boulder acknowledges the city is on the ancestral homelands and unceded territory of indigenous peoples who have traversed, lived in, and stewarded lands in the Boulder Valley since time immemorial. Those indigenous nations include the Apache, Arapaho, Cheyenne, Comanche, Pawnee, Shoshone, Sioux, and Ute. The city of Boulder recognizes that those now living and working on these ancestral lands have a responsibility to acknowledge and address the past and must work to build a more just future. All right, I'd like to approve our agenda for this meeting, if anybody would like to make a motion on that. Oh, yes, we have one agenda. Sorry, I wrote it and then forgot about it. I'd like to add under section 5 under the grants program. Lauren has a short piece on the artist hiring incentive grant that she'd like to discuss. So I'd like to add that. So with that, if anybody
I'll move to approve. I'll second.
Great, all in favor? Hands. Great, unanimous. Thank you, everybody. And let's approve the February meeting minutes, which were in your packets. Does anybody have any changes? If anybody would like to make a
I'll move
motion.
to approve minutes.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Sorry, listen. Oh, great. 4-4 and Maria. Yeah. All right, public participation. I see we have a couple of members from the public. Is there anybody who'd like to speak?
Can I put it into the chat and nobody
Okay,
said anything?
great. Well, welcome to those of you in the public who have joined our meeting, and I know that people will be keeping an eye on the chat if there's
Yes.
anything that comes up here. All right, matters from commissioners. This is a brief portion of our meeting where we have time to give updates on meetings with our liaison groups or just other general topics that you've been hearing that impact the arts while you've been out in the community. Anybody?
I'll start, sure. The Muller Fest, and you all now have their big Muller Fest in May. Their agenda is out and it looks fantastic. I recommend everyone take a look at it and attend something. And I don't know if we talked about this last time, but you know, the Civic Center master plan is underway, so that may be of interest to this group.
Yeah. Great. Anybody else?
Boulder Corral has 2 concerts coming up, April 27th and 28th, featuring the Uvalde, Texas mariachi there. Really cool.
Fun.
Yeah,
You're gonna go to that?
yeah. Sounds awesome.
I did not get to go out and do anything this year, this month, but I'm looking forward to Arts Week for sure.
Oh, yeah.
So if anybody is headed to interesting things, let me know. Anybody else want to do an update? Georgia?
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Yeah, I just wanted to, just in case there was any confusion, just be clear, some clarity around the conversation about the dairy. I wanted to let everyone know that I do have documentation of them, the first documentation that they had given to me that asked for the $1,500 donation. And emails around that, just in case anybody needed any clarity around that. I have those available.
Thank you.
Out to me if you need them.
Anybody else? Oh, Jeffrey, go ahead.
For a liaison report, Modus Theater has the very first theatrical production that's happening in the Capitol complex tomorrow down in Denver, and that's that transformative event that they premiered in Boulder and they've been taking around the state. So they're doing some great work in expanding beyond city and even county of Boulder by getting things that the Arts Commission has been able to help produce through grants really amplified across the state.
I love their stuff. That's great. Thank you. All right. Let's see. We can talk about that later. All right, let's move into the grants program. Just moving along. Lauren, grant reports.
Thank you all for your time reviewing some grant reports. We have a set of reports from project grants and then a set of reports from our operating support grants. So first we'll discuss project grants. We have an arts education grant from Boulder Symphony, an arts education grant from Boulder, a community project grant from Mariposa Collective, and a community project grant report from Hill, Boulder. Per usual, you can approve them, you can approve individual ones, you can ask questions, you can postpone, or you can decline the final 20%. And I have motion language if anybody wants to.
Excellent. Let's first, and just a note that I can't see everybody's faces online. So if you're online, just vocalize if you'd like to respond. Oh, there we go. Now I can see. If there's any report that you want to pull out for later discussion, now will be a time to let me know. Okay. I don't see any response to that, so if someone would like to make a motion.
Yes. I'll move to approve the grant reports from Boulder Symphony, Luna Cultura, Art, Science, and Culture for Thriving Communities, the Mariposa Collective, and the Hill Boulder. I'll second.
Great. All in favor? And can't see the online participants.
Yes.
Georgia is an aye, and let's see, there's Jeffrey. Unanimous, thank you. All right, any comments people want to put on the record?
I will say that I was impressed with the Hill. First of all, their budget, I love when people write details and their budget, firstly, and second, just their admittance that they failed in their goal to hire people of color diversely for their artists. I like that kind of transparency, so I appreciate that. Yeah.
I noticed that and I appreciated that about their budget also.
Yeah, totally.
Why, I wonder why they were not able to hire a person of color.
Yeah, I would like to have more details as well. That would be great.
So I know there are people like to say that there's no black, or people of color in Boulder, but there's plenty.
Yeah.
Is that something, Lauren, that you can do just a follow-up query?
Sure, I'd be happy to.
Just some more
Yeah,
details on
sure.
that. And, just in spirit also, if there's anything that we can, as a commission, do that, help that process.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know plenty of people in Boulder who, there's plenty of communities in Boulder that are people of color. If anyone is in need of hiring artists or just any trade in general, I'd be happy to put them in touch with groups that I am involved with.
Yeah, great.
Thank you, Georgia. Jeffrey?
I was happy with the takeaways from Boulder Symphony and their overall assessment of the community. Luna, I was wildly impressed with the amount of collaboration that they had with various other organizations across the city. And Mariposa, just seeing the amount of people that they were able to have actually experience the art by those 3 nearly sold out performances was really impressive. The Hill item, the takeaway from there was it reached 100 people, and I was a little surprised at the low level or the low amount of participants that were able to be engaged at the actual event. That was just my first takeaway from that.
And I know that we've talked about that as a commission and that we, you know, and especially now that we have some more support for the staff, that we do have avenues to support people in getting the word out, so. Great, so we move on to the recertification.
Thank you. I'll be sure that they read your comments when we hear back from the health. So we have 3 general operating support reports for recertification today. The Chautauqua, JLF Colorado, and ECOARTS connections. The same process for these, you can approve them, approve individual ones, and then ask questions, postpone, or cancel the final 2024 payment. And the motion language is here.
I'd like to make
Go ahead, Jeffrey.
Okay, I move that we approve the reports for the 2022 to 24 general operating support grants for the Colorado Chautauqua, the Jaipur Literature Festival, Colorado, and Eco Arts Connections.
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor? And we can't see Georgia, right? Georgia? Hi, there you are. Excellent. Thank you. And I did want to note, Eco Arts is one of the liaison groups that I spoke to several months ago, and I never really gave an update on, but they're definitely very grateful for the general operating support and very excited about some of the things that they're working on for the next year. All right, thanks. Artist hiring.
Yeah. So, Georgia, you do need to recuse yourself or step away, turn off everything, and I think we'll send you a chat message whenever. Is that all right? We'll send you a chat.
So do you just want me to mute the meeting and stop my video?
Yes, and then we'll send you a chat whenever we're done discussing.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Exactly.
So I brought this up because last Friday was the lottery style decision on the artist hiring incentive grants. So we had 16 applicants. We're getting a lot more now, which is wonderful. And then we have 6 awards to give away. They're $3,000 awards. It is for an organization or a business to hire a Boulder-based organization or business to hire a Boulder-based artist, right? And Dance with Georgia, the organization that's run by Georgia, was one of these lottery style awards. So since this is normally administrative approval, which means that at the beginning of, or actually in like October, you all vote to agree. Lauren can decide, or if they're eligible, then Lauren can go ahead and process these under the purview of the Arts Commission, right? You all essentially agreed to these already, but since she agreed to it already, we need to recuse her, and then the remaining commissioners vote if she can receive this award. I'll say that it was absolutely eligible. She's funding a local Boulder-based artist to work on Brown Sugar Nutcracker with her. I have the full application if you're interested, but she's eligible. She won the lottery, so I would recommend that this is.
Can you just, for the public record, remind us how you do the lottery?
Sure. It's on a website called Picker Wheel. It is recorded and filmed on Zoom. So if anybody wants to watch the recording, it's posted to our website. It's like 3 minutes long. We put it into this randomized wheel and it does a little, lottery style. So yeah, thank you. Sure. I have, oh, sorry. Oh, there. Language, if you want to go for it. I move that we approve an artist hiring incentive grant for Dance with Georgia. I'll second.
All in favor, and again, I can't, George isn't here, so. Jeffrey, are you not voting or? Oh, yeah, okay, great. That's unanimous, and we can let Georgia back in unless anybody, before we let her back in, does anybody have any other comments on that or questions?
Do we have a list of folks who have applied for this who were not chosen by the lottery? Do we have a list for us to be able to look at?
Sure. We have a list of the ones that did not win the lottery, and I also advise them that if they're still eligible for round 3, it's open and then it closes in May. So there's another round of this lottery still this year too.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Let's let Georgia back in.
Okay. I sent you a message. Thank you, everyone.
Let me know when she's back.
So as soon as you turn your video.
And thank you for walking us through that, Lauren, because I'm comfortable voting otherwise.
Sure. It's protocol. We have done it a couple of times before, so it'll come up every once
Thank
in a
you.
while.
Great. All right. Swiftly moving on to introduction to
Yeah.
2025 needs assessment.
Sure.
Lauren, you want to step up through this a little bit?
Sure, and I'm gonna stop sharing. Well, actually, maybe I will. Hold on one second. I'm taking this minute to give you some reminders about the grant program. So community projects for individuals, your first review is due next Wednesday, and then your final review for organizations is on the 10th. I'll send a couple of reminders out, and I know this is really tough and it's overlapping. This is the worst part of the year, I assure you. So I would like to welcome our consultants, Kendall Peterson with their Squared, Jill Stillwell with Stillwell Cultural Consulting, and Jamie Gillis with Centro. I don't know if Jamie's able to join us this evening. But yeah, thank you. Hi, welcome. Let me add them in. So, hi, welcome.
Hi, do you want us to just get started? Shall I start sharing my?
Well, I wanted to do a little introduction, little background on how you were selected too. So Caroline and I were part of the selection, actually let me back up. So we did a full call for bids for a consultant to work on a needs assessment. So this is the first of kind of a 2-part work that we're working towards, since we have the 2A funding and the cultural plan is sunsetting, right? It's closing this year. We need to make recommendations to City Council by June. So we did this first section, which we're calling a needs assessment, to find out what kind of conditions we need to address in 2025 alone. So this one upcoming year, we're calling it a bridge year or a launch year. We have asked them for help in this short term to on some very specific things. As far as how they were selected, this is actually like a power team. The 3 of them are all consultants individually, and they came together to combine their powers. And I'm really, really excited that they did that. I have no idea how I would have selected between any of them. We put out a call for bids. We received 3, one from the power team, and a couple other that are national and international consultants. We had a group of staff, and Caroline joined us. We had a big list. We kind of did it like panel style, where we had a big list of things that we looked at and we scored them. Oh, Brendan, thank you. And we went with this crew where their Squared is sort of the primary contact for this group. Before I pass it over to them to give their proper instructions and things, does anybody have questions about how they were selected or any questions about this whole process? They are actually going to do the whole process stuff, but I'm happy to say.
Can you again just define the scope of what they are doing?
Sure. Oh, yes. Yeah. Hold on one second, Georgia. So they're working specifically towards a report in June of this year to address what we're going to do in 2025. We need a bridge year. We need a launch year. We need time in between now and mid 2025 to do full community research, right? Like to figure out the bigger, longer vision of what we want to do with 2A funding. So this is really going to help us in this like short term. What do we do next year? So our like the grants program, that it's still serving the community, that the public art program is still continues to serve the community, that we grow and address any kind of new needs and opportunities within that 1 year. And then we'll have a full year to do like proper community engagement, thorough engagement. Is that about right? Is that about right?
This will be proper community engagement as well.
Yes.
But truncated and just focused. Really what this process is tied to is the 2025 budget cycle. So we need to get recommendations put together so that we can assemble our 2025 budget with the new monies. We want them to be responsive to community.
Great.
And Georgia.
Yeah, Georgia?
Yeah, no, I just wanted to say I really appreciate the way that the city selects its members by putting out a call for people so that everyone has the opportunity to apply and putting together a panel of different minded people to do the selection. I really just feel so in alignment with that process of choosing people for positions. I feel like it just is equal opportunity and just is all around good practice. So thumbs up.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, without further ado, Kendall, Jill, please.
Great.
Hi.
Hi.
Jill, do you want to share your computer screen or, thank you so much, Lauren, for inviting us today. We just have a really short presentation, and a lot of it you've already actually talked about in your introduction, Lauren, but you can go to the next slide, Jill. So this is what we'll just be covering. First of all, if you all wouldn't mind, we would love, since this is our first time speaking with you, I would love it if we could just get introductions from the rest of the commissioners and just tell us basically how long you've been on the commission, what you do in Boulder, and then if you want to add a little bit of flavor to it, what you're excited about, what we need to know about upcoming that, aside from, I know Boulder Arts Week is coming up, but if there's anything else that you're excited about that we should know about in our research that, or, an event that you're excited about, tell us that. So I'm going to start with Georgia because she's on my screen to my left, and then you can tag the next person. And it looks like you're in a very beautiful spot, and I'm really jealous.
Yeah, I will say that it was completely intentional that I started my video like.
I think we're all really envious. So you might have to explain to us where you actually are and how long you've been on the commission, etc.
Okay, so I'm Georgia. I am in, where am I? Cabo San Juan, not Cabo San Lucas, like the more quiet part in Mexico.
San Jose del Cabo, maybe.
Thank you. San Jose del Cabo is where I am for my son's senior spring break. I've been on the commission for 3 years, I believe. I am a dance instructor, producer, choreographer, director, advocate for the arts. Well, we know that because I'm here. And yeah, I grew up in Boulder. I moved away for 13 years, but was on Arts Commission in Encinitas, California. And now I'm back and working on leaving a legacy.
Awesome. Is there something that you're looking forward to, an arts event that's coming up maybe that you want to share?
Well, I've been going to a lot of plays lately, which I normally don't do. I normally am going to dance events. So really looking forward to theater this summer. Shakespeare Festival. This will be my 3rd year doing that. Yeah.
Very cool. Do you want to pick the next person to introduce themselves? Just names. We'll let you guys pick on each other.
Okay, well, I can't see anyone, but so I'll just choose Caroline.
Okay, thank you.
Awesome. Hi, guys. Thanks for being here. I'm Caroline Kurtz. I'm the chair, and I'm going into, this is what, 3 years? 3 years. I'm in 3 years on the commission. And what else can I tell you? Sorry. What else would you like to know?
Just
What do you do in Boulder?
Oh, I live in Boulder. I do a lot of volunteer work in the arts community. with a background in Burning Man community, and I am an arts attorney.
Oh, cool.
Just a few things. Awesome. And is there anything you're looking forward to coming up, an arts event that you're excited about, Arts Week?
I just made the decision to go to Colorado Creative Industries, their annual conference. I'm super psyched for that. I haven't been for a couple of years and missed it. Yay.
Good. Awesome. Yeah, select someone else to introduce themselves.
Oh, sure. Jeffrey.
Well, hi there, folks. My name is Jeffrey Cash. I am currently the AVP of Community Relations over at Premier Members Credit Union, overseeing our engagement with the communities and sponsorships and education, business development, and all those lovely things. Personally, I sit on a mess of boards around town. My background is in musical theater. I grew up on a farm in very rural Pennsylvania in a very poor family, and the performing arts, I attribute that to basically saving my life and getting me out there in many ways. Things that I'm looking forward to, we're going to Viva for their newest production over at the Dairy tomorrow. Summer makes me immediately think of, like Georgia mentioned, Colorado Shakespeare Festival. I sit on that board as well and have for many years. I help and curate and host a classic film series monthly over at the Dairy Arts Center. So our next offering for that is on Tuesday. Lots of things going on all the time, and I'm looking forward to all of them.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you. You got to choose someone else to introduce themselves, Jeffrey.
Sure. I'm missing Maria because she's actually at the meeting and I'm not, and there she is. So
Hi, Kendall, nice to see you. Jill, nice to meet you.
Wait, Maria Cole?
Yes. In the flesh.
I
Nice
can't
to
see you. That is so wonderful. I haven't seen you forever.
It's been fun to work with you a little bit. Exciting.
Oh my gosh, exciting. I'm so excited to see you. I'm glad that you're on this board.
Yes, we'll have to catch up. Okay, yeah, so I've been on the board 3 years, I came on at the same time with Carolyn. I am, I'm an architect in Boulder. So things I'm excited about, the Mahler Fest, I mentioned this earlier at the beginning of the meeting. I think this is just a spectacular event that now is starting to get some international press. That's coming up in May, so kind of a full week of concerts. I'm appointed to this commission, to the BMOCA board. They are working on their new building in North Boulder, getting a tremendous lot of interest from architects nationally and internationally. So that's going to be very exciting, and I think that will really revitalize all of North Boulder and Novo. And just started with Brendan, the Alpine Balsam public art, which is a $1 million call for public art, which is tremendous, I think. So I think that's going to be really exciting too. So that as well as northern side of Boulder. So I think we're seeing a lot of emphasis there. As well, I've been tapped to look at the East Boulder planning through the kind of planning department. And I think as well, they're starting to be progressive on that east side of Boulder near the airport. So kind of all cylinders around the entire city is really catalyzing. So.
Awesome, thank you.
Would you
Who
pick the
else?
next person, Maria?
No, go ahead.
I'm Yaleid. I've been on the board for 2 years. Yeah, 2 years. I'm a digital artist and illustrator and also a drag performer. And I work at a secondhand clothing store here in Boulder. And the next event I'm really excited about is Empathy Theater Projects. We're still here in concert. So it was a musical, and then this is going to be a concert of all of the songs and the music, and then also like talking about the making of the musical. That's April 4th at E-Town Hall. I'm really excited. Yeah.
Cool. At E-Town Hall?
Yeah.
Great. Awesome. Would you want to pick the next person?
I think that's us.
Did we
That's
get it?
everyone.
You're
That's
very
everyone.
tiny on my screen, so.
Yes, we're missing 2 tonight. Sorry about that.
Oh, no worries, no worries. And then there's someone named Lisa on, did we already talk to Lisa, Lisa W?
She's our
executive assistant.
It's like board queen.
Oh, okay. So you were watching your screen or something. Okay, got it. So, to introduce ourselves, I kind of do love the idea that you think that we're a dream team, Lauren. This is what I love doing, is assembling teams to work with communities. And we are, I think the reason why we assembled this team is because we've always wanted to work in Boulder. I know Jamie's done some work with you all before, but both Jill and I are kind of newbies, so we're excited to work with you on this. But again, my name is Kendall Peterson. My company name is There Squared. I started There Squared when I left the airport, when I was working with, I started off working with Matt and company on the public art program for the Hotel and Transit Center, which had around $6 million worth of art for that project. And that was incredibly wonderful. And I know Maria from our other projects in Denver, very, very involved on our board there. And she was on our group of artists that were helping us with a lot of different really big projects down in Denver. So that was a lot of fun, including the Art Museum and the Justice Center. So those were my, that's where I gained my sort of experience in the arts in this region. And then I went also and did about a half a degree in planning. I was really frustrated by the way that public art tends to be kind of an afterthought in a lot of programs. And so I'm really loving now doing planning. So I specialize in public art, but we do placemaking, and Jill and I teamed up a few years ago on a project for the Colorado Springs region. And we liked working together so much for that we have continually teamed up on projects. And then Jamie, who isn't here today, I think you know her work very well. She works in the economic development realm, and she will be helping us with this project when she is able. So Jill, go ahead and talk a little bit about your background.
Sure. Well, I'm Jill Stillwell, and I have a company called Stillwell Cultural Consulting. I know, not very creative, but I'm up in Fort Collins, and I actually grew up in Niwot and did a couple of years at CU before becoming a trader and coming up to Fort Collins and becoming a RAM at Colorado State. So, but I worked I came up on the museum side of things. I was a curator and an executive director in the museum world for about 10 to 12 years. And then I became the director of the Cultural Services Department for the city of Fort Collins and did that for about 13 years. And then in 2015, I decided that I wanted to really focus on vision-oriented planning, the things I loved most. As Kendall said, is planning for the arts and culture industry. So we do a lot of cultural planning. We partner on public art planning. We love community engagement. It's one of the things that we really is the cornerstone to our partnership together. And as Kendall said, we've partnered on about a half a dozen different projects over the last 5 years, I think. So we're super excited to be working with you all in Boulder.
And really, just for the purpose of this project, Jill and I are co-leaders, and we bring Jamie in for special projects. But Jill and I, we are equals in this, so we'll be handling. You'll see both of us at every single meeting, most likely, unless it's when one of us is on vacation. So, if you have questions, if you ask one of us, you ask both of us. So just so you know. So Lauren did a great job of letting you know what the project is all about, so you can move forward. So as we know, the passage of 2A made sure that you have this 20-year tax renewal, and it's going to be increasing the art. Oh my gosh, sorry, the funding available for the arts, cultural, and heritage. And if you hear my dogs barking in the background, there is a delivery that we're expecting, and I apologize for that. So I might have to pass it to you, Jill, all of a sudden if it gets too loud. So, and as Lauren mentioned, we're looking at just the fiscal year for 2025 right now. We call it the bridge year, and we've been using that language in our planning. So we're really we're running and gunning to get a short-term needs and funding assessment for June, ready for June for that 2025 bridge year. And then obviously, I think we'll hopefully be going deeper and more have extensive planning process for the future after 2025. So
Yeah, I think as Lauren said that there will be a more extensive process after we do this bridge year, but we want to make sure that anything that we do now is really laying the groundwork and we're feeding into that other process. So it shouldn't, whatever we produce now should really help that next phase.
So part of this, the process that we're talking about in the scope will be to do some research and analysis in 3 major areas. We're going to be looking at the existing and future general operating grants. So I think, Lauren, tell us, the full list is over 40 different groups that have earned these grants, but also we'll be looking at groups that either were denied or were or haven't applied, so or they're looking to get grants through this through these funds. We'll also be working with Brendan and his team to look at the public arts maintenance funding and staffing needs, which is we've already talked to Brendan, and then it sounds like you also have a lot of really big projects coming up too, so that will feed into that research. And then we'll be looking at the alignment of all the different planning and work that's going on in the community, and making sure that everything that we're recommending in these in this needs assessment will be in alignment with just sort of overall goals for the city. We will be hosting a series of listening sessions. And Lauren, you can, I don't know if you brought the list that we have, but
Yes.
we'll have different listening sessions, both virtual and in person, to gain input on the general operating grants. And so we'll be making sure that people nominate people to be part of those listening sessions. And then we'll also be talking to staff and the city leadership to also do some groundwork on needs and staffing and funding. So then we will be going into, if you could just go back 1 second. So we'll be drafting this, this document and coming back to you. I think we'll have a couple of different touch points with you all. So this one where we're introducing the project, and then we'll probably be coming back in March to kind of talk through some of the things that we've discovered and found. And then in June, we'll be going in front of, we'll be asking for endorsement. So it's March
We'll
through
be coming
June.
back in May. I think you said March. We'll be coming back
Oh,
probably.
I
Yeah.
am always mixing up May and March. I swear, I think I'm a little bit dyslexic that way. Sorry. Yeah, you
Awesome.
get that. March through June. It's this quick turnaround. So
Yeah.
So these are all the groups that we'll be talking to in the next couple of months. And I think what we would like to do is have you all nominate or volunteer. We would love to have 2 representatives from your group to help us and do sort of a deeper dive with us if you are interested. And then we also wanted to ask you if there's any key stakeholders that you think we really need to make sure that we're reaching out to.
Georgia?
Yeah. Me,
Oh,
me.
you're volunteering?
Yes.
You're volunteering to participate?
Yeah.
Who volunteered?
Yeah, let's do a round of who would be interested in volunteering, first of all. 'Cause I would also.
Caroline?
Marie is interested,
Go ahead, Georgie, you and George.
and Jeffrey is interested also. You
So
sure you
Caroline-
only need 2?
Let's step out.
Well, so I might offer
Yeah.
that if there's another stakeholder committee that you feel like you would fit in, if you have applied for a GOS grant or been a grant applicant another way in the past, then you're input is still very relevant, so we could pull in some commissioners that way. The key is we can't have more than 2 commissioners in a meeting at a time. We want to make sure
Oh,
that
sure, yeah.
that, because then it's a public meeting and then it's
Sure.
a formal thing and then,
Yeah.
but we also want to
Gotcha.
make sure that you all feel like you can, you know, if you have interest in this work, that your voice is a part of it.
Yeah.
So, we either need to have multiple meetings, which adds to the scope, or if there's other stakeholder groups that you actually can see yourself, participating in, we could add you that way as well.
I could add myself to the list of the grant applicants, but it's a project grant that we received. Would that be
That,
fit into that category? Because like, it looks like maybe you're looking for the grant applicants who didn't get
That's a
Mind if
question for Lauren.
okay, so the grant applicant section, we aimed for this part of it for general operating support grants, but we did include, or I did include, I should say, they've been told that we're including organizations that didn't necessarily exist when we did this round 3 years ago. So groups like Roots Music or the New Local who would be eligible next year, but weren't included before. So there's about 14 and groups that were denied, groups that received only a 2-year award instead of a 3. So I think it would be totally valid to be speaking with that group of grantees because some of them haven't even had a chance to apply yet.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I could move myself to that category.
Perfect.
Does anybody else have someplace they could move themselves?
I'm good, I don't need to.
Oh, okay. Maureen has reached out to her volunteerism. So, I'd like to nominate Jeffrey and Georgia to be our Arts Commission representatives. I see
Great.
nodding approval. We don't need to take a vote on it. And,
So yeah, so we'll
Exciting.
definitely reach out to both of you through Lauren and connect, and we're hoping that you can be a conduit to the rest of the board as well. So hopefully we'll be able to, when we meet with you, we can document the conversation, share minutes or notes. We can have some ways for sharing the discussion with the broader commission as well.
Jeffrey, did you raise your hand or anything? I thought I saw your finger go up.
I was just giving a thumbs up that
Oh, thumbs up. Okay.
Thank you so much.
two things, we're very collaborative and we get along real well.
It's true.
That's awesome. So is there anything else that we wanted to cover, Joe?
Question, related to key stakeholders, does it make sense to invite Create Boulder?
Yes, we have booked a meeting with Create Boulder and the 2A campaign committee. So it is Create Boulder and some of their colleagues that worked on the Create Boulder campaign with them.
Okay,
Yes, for a private meeting.
Yeah. We'll definitely meet with them, and yes, so if there's any other stakeholders that you can think of, let us know, let Lauren know, and we'll definitely add them to the list for this first quick turnaround.
Or things that we need to research as well. That's, you know, if there's other documents or things like that, just apply us with all sorts of things because we love research. So this, we already kind of went through this. So we're in April and May, we're going to be doing our research and our outreach. We'll be doing some analysis and synthesis starting in May. And then we'll be providing some documents to Lauren sort of internally, and then and Matt as well. And we'll hopefully be able to do some synthesis so that you're not seeing any sausage being made. We'll make sure that those things are really in tip-top shape before they come to you. And then in June, we'll be needing an endorsement for some of the final short-term needs and funding recommendations that we have, and then we will be preparing a presentation to City Council for adoption in June. I think it's June 21st is when we're expected to do a presentation. So that's our timeline. Any questions?
Oh, we already did that.
Already did this, so we're good. That is our short presentation.
That's awesome. Thank
See,
you.
now I can see everybody a little bit better now that we don't have a presentation.
Lauren, it seemed like you had a list of listening session dates
Yes,
maybe?
yes, we
Is
do.
that something you could share with us?
Sure, we have 4 listening sessions, one for that group that I mentioned of organizations that were lower funded, didn't exist yet, et cetera, et cetera. And then the other 3 are for general operating support grantees, and one is in person, 2 are virtual. So, when did I send out is it appropriate if I send out the dates for those and then you can RSVP to us, because I'm tracking the RSVPs for those. Does that sound good? If you're interested.
And is that something that people who don't fit in those categories are open to come and just listen to?
What do you
or-
think, Jill and Kendall? Because I think there will be like pretty big groups on those, like 15, 20 people on them, I'm estimating.
Yeah, I have a feeling they're gonna get pretty big, especially the virtual ones. You know, what we could do, Lauren, is talk about maybe having sort of a more open session where it's like, we'll see how many people come to the first couple ones and then have an open session or something like that. We have to kind of figure that out.
Sometimes we need to have a catch up because people say they're going to come and then they aren't able to. So sometimes we'll circle back at the end and have like an open session, and maybe that's one that we could kind of catch everybody up who wanted to participate.
Okay.
Yeah,
And then we
absolutely.
just have to be sure that it's not a quorum or it's not above the legal, we'll figure it out.
Or maybe one recorded or something. I just think it would be, for myself personally, curious to hear
Oh,
what
yeah.
people have to say.
Sure.
And we definitely take notes and we'll provide highlights of the conversation. We like to also keep those conversations confidential.
Yeah.
Because we feel like people will be more honest and open if they know that they won't be quoted, so we will summarize comments for you all to see that too.
Perfect, thank you.
And staff won't be joining any of those either, because we want our grantees to be able to feel comfortable with that. And they're not recorded for the same reason, right?
Correct.
Right. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Want people to feel very free to speak their minds without us attaching anything to it. So and people really do take advantage of that. So that's why you hire consultants.
Excellent.
That they will. Thank you.
Thank you all for having us tonight and letting us kind of share what we're up to.
Excited to hear your outcomes.
Fantastic.
Okay, thank you so much for having us, and please reach out to Lauren if you have any more questions for us, and we'll be staying in touch with you all.
Great. And we'll be in touch with Georgia and Jeffrey.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Georgia.
Thanks so
Thank you,
much.
Georgia and
Have
Jeffrey.
a great evening.
Yeah, have a great rest of your evening.
No.
All right. Matters from staff. Questions about the manager's memo? Does anybody have any questions about the manager's memo? Seeing none, Lauren, did you have any comments or anything that you wanted to highlight from that?
Yes, I do. I want to point out my super subtle brick wall.
Can you show that? to
Boulder
the
Arts
online
Week,
people?
yeah, sure. We have this year, okay, Cindy is totally crushing it, by the way.
Nice.
We have flyers, posters, signs coming up for Boulder Arts Week. There's yard signs and there's those metal sticky things if you would like here. I have like over 100 events on the list. I do have something I call Clicks Picks that is like my little narrow like of things that I go to. Yes, Clicks Picks that I do every year. So if you want a little help with it, because it's such a massive list, I have great taste, so I highly recommend that. Just kidding, but it's a big list. So, or if you want recommendations like family friendly or want to take, just let me know. There's so much fun stuff happening. Other than that, I think that's it.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm so excited.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
All right. We did have Bruce down as this being his last meeting, but he's not here. And he's told
Speech.
And he told Lisa that we will be at the next meeting, so all of our tears and gifts,
Save them in a jar for next
Yeah.
time.
can wait, yeah, save them in a jar. But can we make an announcement about who the new commissioner is?
Oh, sure, yes.
Great.
Yes.
Would you like to do that?
Oh,
or-
sure.
Or I can?
Oh, you
whatever.
can. Sure.
Okay,
Please.
sure. Julie Katzenberger from the Junkyard Social Club is going to be joining us as a new commissioner. So maybe, do you know the timeline for how that all rolls out with the swearing in and for
Sure.
first meeting?
Yes, so she was gonna come tonight, but she's gonna watch it. Hi, Jill.
I do.
And she'll be at the next meeting. So at that meeting, she'll have been sworn in, and then Bruce will be coming, aside from receiving our tears, he'll come to help with he'll be a member of the public at that point. But I've asked him to come also to be a panelist on that one grant cycle. So he'll come and hang out, be in the public, receive our gifts and love. But then Jill will be officially a member at the next meeting, and just as an aside for the grant program, we allow people to not have to score for their first year in the grant program, so she'll just be hanging out with the grant. Not anymore.
All right, that brings us to the end of our agenda in under an hour, everybody. Thank you.
Meetings.
So I will bang it out. There.
Yeah.